Good morning, good day, my fellow African. Good morning, good day, my fellow Zambians. My name is Physical. Did you know that the Zambian population is approximately 20 million people? Did you know that our GDP as of 2026 is 41.24 billion US dollars, as well as our economic growth is 6.4 to 7.7% growth compared to last year, which was 5.6 to 6.2% growth. There's also this which I want you, my fellow Zambian, to understand. In terms of size, Zambia is at number 39 in Africa. Our continent, Africa, has 54 countries. Among the 54 countries, Zambia is one of the largest, both in size and in water bodies. Zambia have 15 million hectares of border and water bodies. It has 75.2 million hectares of land. Out of 75.2 million hectares of land, only 1.4 to 1.5 million hectares of land is used. Number one, in forest coverage. Number two, customary and state-owned land. Number three, it's national parks. Now my question is, Zambia is rich because it has a vast land, a vast water bodies. Now you and I, my fellow Zambians, what have we done so far to preserve this grace, this blessing which God has given us? What have we done so far to develop our beautiful Zambia instead of bringing investors who just come to steal from us? We look at Zafico. Zafico has 6 million hectares and it has 6 billion trees that is planted in there. Out of 6 billion trees, Zafico is bringing nothing on Zambian table because it has been learned by whites for over 100 years now, and nothing yet Zambia has benefited from. Ladies and gentlemen, I want also to talk about the access to loans through banks and title deeds to small miners. These two major things, they need to be revised constitutionally, because for somebody who just want to start a business, it's very difficult to access the loans through banks because of lack of trust. And we don't have a state-owned banks that can trust its own citizens. In Saudi Arabia, water is more expensive than fuel, if you don't know that. But here in Zambia, water is cheaper than fuel because we don't produce fuel. Yet we have the potentiality to fuel processing in Zambia. In Saudi Arabia, water is very expensive because they don't have water bodies like we have here in Zambia. If you don't know, my fellow countries, men and women, Zambia can be a food basket for African countries because we have a very vast land, which is 75.2 billion hectares. If we utilize it for farming and the other commercial sectors, we have 15 million hectares of water bodies which we can utilize for irrigation and be the largest producers of crops like maize, sunflower, beans, soybeans, etc., and be one of the food basket for our fellow African countries so that we can generate more income and our GDP can be raised from 41.24 billion US dollars to 100 plus. We take examples of Seychelles. It's a small country of less than 135,000 population, and yet it has a very good GDP than us, Zambians. My fellow Zambians, I want to take you back in 1968 when Simon Mwansa Kapwepwe, the first vice president of this country, said that our former colonies, they will one day come back in this country as investors. That is new colonialism we are talking about today. We are bringing in investors who come in the name of helping Zambians to find jobs, employment, and yet at the end of the day, there's nothing that we get out of that. All what they do is stealing from us, taking our monies back to their own countries. We need to come up with a mineral reserves in this country for us to start processing our own minerals and sell that mineral to other continents. Can you imagine? I'll give you a very good example that you have planted cabbage in your garden. After it's ready to be eaten, you sell it to somebody, and that somebody goes to his or her own restaurant and prepare it. Then you go and there and buy it for you to eat. Then that person probably will sell it, that cabbage, at an expensive price because he or she has added cooking oil, salt, labor, and electricity. This is what happens today. I thank you. I submit. Let's wait for the next episode. My name is Physical Honorable Hagwenda. Thank you. Thank you, Zambia. Thank you for listening. Thank you.